Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. You will have seen by now, I'm sure, the 5 versus 5 Matchroom versus Queensberry announcement. A lot of fights on there that were rumoured, but it was really great. I absolutely loved the press conference, the presser. I thought, excuse me, I thought the sort of Guy Ritchie style promo thing was great. Fantastic card, absolutely brilliant card. One of the best I can recall. But the one thing that popped into my head afterwards was certainly, even though we kind of suspected Deontay Wilder might turn up on the Matchroom side, because when it was announced, or Turki Al-Sheikh chose heavyweight as a category, a weight division, and there was already a heavyweight, I think Frank Warren, was it? Yeah, it was Frank Warren, I think, had picked the heavyweights. So there were 2 heavyweight fights going to be out of the 5. And, of course, Matchroom, they are thin on the ground for heavyweight. So it was rumoured for quite a while that Wilder might come in. But the only thing is, of course, Wilder and Eddie Hearn have not exactly got on in the past. I think we can safely say that. And it wasn't an entire surprise to see him there, but it's very interesting. What's also interesting is that for years upon years, Wilder, probably against his own interests, sided with PBC and was loyal to PBC. And the fact that he has signed, albeit for a one-fight deal with Hearn, don't be surprised if there's some success there and they'll extend that. He'll do another deal, because don't forget, he's nearly 40. He's taking, and he's coming off a loss to Parker. So, you know, this is his, I guess it's make or break. His options were perhaps more limited than they have been in the past. But with PBC, Wilder has signed with Hearn. Boots Ennis has signed with Hearn. Subriel Mateus, who appeared on PBC cards, he has signed with Hearn. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? I mean, PBC is in danger of complete collapse. Now, they moved, obviously, when Showtime packed the boxing in. Heyman cut this deal with Amazon Prime, but there are only 14 shows, and that includes pay-per-views. And Heyman, clearly, with the amount of the sort of roster of fighters he's got, clearly it was going to be problematic. How was he going to get them all work? I thought it was inevitable when they announced that Prime deal, Amazon Prime deal, that fighters, they start hemorrhaging fighters, top fighters. And sure enough, that's what's happened. And PBC, which, 8, 9, 10 years ago was, you know, in full flow and was putting on some good cards. I think it's basically becoming a second division promotional outlet now. Who have they got left? I mean, they're trying to promote Errol Spence as a potential challenger at 154, but the rematch with Fundora and Tim Tszyu, I think, is about to be finalised. PBC, they're getting thin on the ground as far as elite level or close to elite level fighters are concerned. So this whole PBC thing, it does seem to be coming apart at the seams, and I don't say that as someone who's glad about it, because I want, you know, the more promotional companies there are, the more competition there is. I understand that sometimes people can have their little plot in the garden and stick to it, and what we need is promoters working together for the best fights. But at the same time, if a promotional company is getting fighters work and putting on cards and it ceases to exist, or it's greatly diminished, I think that's a bad thing for fans. And ultimately, I'm a boxing fan. I have no loyalty towards PBC, Hearn, Warren, or anyone else. I've been going to small hall shows for 40 years, and I have no loyalty to any particular promoter. I can admire promoters like I can admire fighters, but I don't know these people. You know, I'm just some guy who buys a ticket to go to the York Hall or whatever. So I have no loyalty to any particular promotional outlet, but the more promotional companies there are, the more boxing there is, the better it is ultimately. So long as we get, you know, cross-promotional things. I mean, look at the enormous success we're seeing between Matchroom and Queensberry. And again, I think this undercard of. I mean, Bivol and Beterbiev itself is an incredible fight. A fantastic fight. Undisputed light heavyweight champion. But to have this colossal undercard, which is magnificent, and the promotion of it. And the way it's presented, I think it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I loved that press conference. I thought it was, the only thing I didn't like about it was I'm not keen on Dev Sani. A lot of people slag off the DAZN team. They don't like, or, the Sky team or whatever. They don't like so-and-so. I don't really care. Normally, I don't really care about who presents what. But what I don't like is company men, people who have this sort of corporate, they're kind of like corporate lickspittles. Gareth A. Davis is one. If you follow this channel, you'll know I'm not keen on Gareth A. Davis, the Fury fanboy. But I don't particularly like Dev Sani. I think he's basically a cheerleader for Queensberry. I'm not interested in cheerleaders. I'm not interested in blowhards for certain companies, promotional companies. So that side of it I didn't particularly like. I thought, and also Dev Sani let the cat out of the bag regarding Nick Ball, as when they all had their masks on, and Eddie Hearn mentioned Nick Ball. He said he was a fan of Nick Ball, and Dev Sani let the cat out of the bag and said, "Well, we haven't revealed Nick Ball yet. Why don't you keep your mouth shut, mate? You've just revealed him, you idiot." No, I'm not keen on him at all. I'm not keen. And sorry, Dev, you might be a really nice bloke away from the camera, but I'm not keen. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I don't like hurting people's feelings, but nah. But anyway. Just a few thoughts about PBC. That's what this video was originally supposed to be about, PBC, but greatly diminished. What do you think? Do you think there's a future for PBC? Now, in fairness, the first Amazon Prime card they put on was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. But can they build on that? Can they resurrect themselves? It's possible. It's possible, of course. Deals get struck and Heyman knows business. But I think the greatest mistake, this is probably a subject for a different video, was PBC trying to create a sort of UFC model, which I just don't think. I wouldn't want that in boxing at all. I really wouldn't. And I think they made that mistake with, trying to freeze fighters out and trying to make everything in-house. And I hate that. I hate the concept of that. And I think that's why a lot of people turn against PBC. Probably not just fans, but perhaps people perhaps investors turn against them because of that reason. There's something sinister or cult-like about having everything that's in-house. That's why with UFC, even though I'm a very casual MMA fan, I don't like that it's almost like fucking North Korea or something. Where you get the great godhead, Dana White, and then you've got a few faceless corporate billionaires at the top, and then you go down and you've got people, gladiators fighting in the auditorium, and everything's in-house, and it's all like a cult. I don't like it at all, and that's, I think, the impression I got with PBC is that they were trying to do something different. So rather something similar to that, different to what you would normally expect with conventional boxing structures. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of PBC once that started happening. But can they survive? You tell me. Tell me what you think. Are you surprised that Wilder signed with Matchroom? I wonder what Al Heyman thinks about that. Leave your comments below if you've got any. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It takes a second to pop the little button. And also, hit the like button as well, because they count them. They count the likes. I don't know why, but they do. All right, guys and girls, thank you very much for your time as always. I'm looking forward to reading what you've got to say, and bye for now.